Good morning, everybody. Welcome, 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 and happy Thursday. My name is April, and I'm with Medwell Health and Wellness, and we are having one of my favorite days of the week with my friend Emily. We have been running a series this spring, and wow, friends, we're almost to summer, and this weekend's sure going to feel like it. Cannabis, Wellness, and You, aka Medwell Unscripted. We have some great guests with us today. We have Alex Parker, the head of marketing at UpTop, and Nikki Stanley, director of marketing at UpTop. And today we're going to be talking really about the patient experience in medical cannabis. So we're excited to get started. So some housekeeping, friends. Before we start, this video is being recorded. It is being played on Facebook and as well as YouTube. If you have a question, drop it in the chat. We're happy to answer it as we go. If you are catching the replay, feel free to leave a comment because we will absolutely get back to you as well. So also, sharing is caring. Share this with your friends. Educate your friends on medical cannabis and the power of the plant and how it can help in your wellness. So we're really excited. So good morning, everybody. How is everyone?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Let's try that again. So we're a little earlier. So good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Good morning. Right. So I want to start with introductions and just have everyone tell a little bit about themselves and kind of their role in the medical cannabis field and what they're up to. So I'm going to start with our very own Emily Waxman, our Director of Community Outreach. Take it away, Emily.
Thank you, April. Well, yes, it is an absolute pleasure to be here again today. And I love being here with our friends, Alex and Nikki. And I am just out and about in the community, being able to answer questions about getting your medical certification, why you would want to get your medical certification. So anyone that's looking to get a hold of me to ask questions and talk and just whatever it is that I can be of assistance with, you can always find me. And I am just been extremely busy these days, just trying to get out there and sprinkle all that knowledge out there as much as I can. So it's, again, just an absolute pleasure to be here today with our friends. I'm so excited about this new dispensary that we're going to be talking about today. And so I will bring it back to you, April, so we can start talking to our friends and getting all that awesome information.
Awesome. And as Emily mentioned, UpTop is a recently new opened dispensary in Framingham. So it's great to have new friends in the area and the growing cannabis community. So welcome, Alex and Nikki. Alex, why don't you tell us a little bit about what you do at UpTop?
Of course. Yeah. So I'm our head of marketing here at UpTop. And, really what we aim to do is we wanted to open up a neighborhood shop, right? We wanted to make sure that we are fully ingraining ourselves in each community where our doors are open. So we've taken really the approach of, how can we think globally and act locally, as, I'll give that to Nikki. She came up with that one. But, everywhere where our doors open and we plan to open, we're really working with staff and team members there to understand the needs of those communities. And we really want to hire and be reflective of those communities, right? In Framingham, with strong Brazilian population and Portuguese speakers, we really look to hire a lot of folks there. So we're really trying to positively impact these communities through days of givings, which we'll talk a little bit about, and ultimately knock down a lot of the intimidation factors that a lot of dispensaries have. We really want this sense of comfort coming into our dispensary. And really that vision is what drove me here to UpTop. I spent the last 10 years with the Miami Dolphins, and was really excited to join this group, just seeing, that vision that they had from the community perspective.
Awesome. Well, welcome. All right. Nikki Stanley, this is like your official married name. Congratulations. He is a newlywed, as I should say that Alex just had a new baby. So busy times there at UpTop. So Nikki, take it away and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, so I used to work at Walgreens doing consumer insights, and the consumer is always the first thing that I think about. And so in this role, I have the unique opportunity to think about what the patient wants and what that patient experience should be, and really put that into action and make sure that we're delivering against what experience you want when you walk into our dispensary, whether it's making sure we have the right products on the shelf, or that we're offering the right variety, and that you feel, like Alex mentioned, comfortable when you come in. And so working alongside Alex, I've had the unique opportunity to, bring all of the knowledge I had from a corporate environment and really bring that to the cannabis industry and make some big strides and changes.
Awesome. All right, so let's talk, I think one of the biggest things, obviously, and we talk about this, and I think the stigma of medical cannabis is getting less and less. And I think one of the things that a lot of times people don't really understand the whole patient experience behind getting your med card, the process, how easy it is. Also just really kind of what's available to you in terms of education, right? It's not, you go in, you get your card. There's a whole process that happens from the minute they walk into a doctor's office or they get a telemed appointment, and then leaving there to go to the dispensary like UpTop. So let's start with you, Alex. Why do you think patient experience, especially as you were looking at, jumping into a new dispensary, talk a little bit about how that came into the importance of planning kind of that medical patient and what that experience was going to look like?
Of course. Yeah. I think for us, really, we wanted to define what the patient experience was. And we quickly realized that it extends beyond the four walls of a dispensary, right? The patient experience really starts and ends 365, 24/7. We want to make sure that, we're communicating with patients through a hyper segmented and curated way where they're getting relevant information to them. So we really want to first learn about our patients. If we have a patient that is their form factor of choice is an edible, right? We don't want to highly communicate with them about pre-rolls or concentrates. We want to make sure that we're giving them information that is important to them on their journey for cannabis, right? So I think once we defined that and understood that outside of the dispensary walls, we still need to curate a positive experience and have these positive touch points. We then looked inside the four walls and we said, okay, it's really easy nowadays to be intimidated walking into a dispensary, whether you feel rushed, whether you're new to the cannabis journey and you don't understand terpene profiles and strains and what these things mean. So we really just had this overwhelming tone of comfort. When somebody walks in, we don't want them to feel rushed. We want them to be able to move at their own pace. We want them to feel like they could ask any questions that they have. So really by instituting that, we've trained our staff to be welcoming but not fake, charismatic but not arrogant. We want them to be very knowledgeable, but we don't want them to talk over the heads of patients. We want them to understand the level of cannabis consumer that they're talking to, so that they can curate their dialogue with them there. So I think it was first pointing to outside, how can we have positive impact, in the community and activate events for these patients? How can we hyper segment and communicate with these audiences with relevant information? And then ultimately, once we do welcome them in the doors, from the security guard greeting them at the door to saying goodbye as they're exiting, is really all aimed at comfort. Like comfort is posted on my wall in my office. And it's something that's really important to us.
Awesome. What are your thoughts, Emily?
Oh, for me?
Yeah. Sorry, on kind of the why you feel like patient experience is so important, because I know.
Not only I was listening to that's it's funny because I was each time that Alex was just bringing up something, I was thinking about all my hours upon hours at different dispensaries and what I've seen over the years and times where I wanted so badly to step in between the patient and the bud tender behind the counter to, kind of help a little bit, because so often, you see exactly what Alex said. You see someone kind of talking over the patient, or, the music is playing so loud that they can barely hear what they're saying, or, they're handing them, they're suggesting something that, for a new patient is probably not the best thing for them to try. Or I've seen, someone trying to return something because, they're not sure why they were even suggested that. So, I mean, I could probably give example after example, but as Alex was talking, it was really just heartwarming, because it's just such an important piece of the process, so that we can continue to keep folks in the medical program, because that's ultimately what we're all trying to do here, and we're trying to grow the program. And so anytime that someone has a poor experience like what I was just mentioning, that's just what, they get in their car and they're thinking, why am I even, doing this anymore? Why am I going through these steps and this effort, to not get what I'm looking for? So it's very, very important what Alex just said. So I couldn't agree anymore with just the training that you're talking about and instilling that into your team, because it's really needed here. It's, that there's a lot of good dispensaries out there that are continuing to do what we're hoping to, but unfortunately, there's some that are just not in it for the right reasons. So.
Well, and I think one of the things too is, like at Medwell with the patient experience, one of the things we do training too for our team, right? And we also do training not only on, a customer experience, but we also work with dispensary partners to have them do some training with us, so we have an understanding of the process, because it's a collaboration, right, from the doctor's office to the dispensary and kind of that handoff. And I know that one of our biggest things is, for us, we do a lot of phone calls, so our patient experience starts the minute that we pick up the phone. So that's a constant thing, and
Right.
You never know. We have people that are elderly, seniors. And we have people that are very sick calling. We have caregivers calling. So that just from the moment of that touch point makes a huge difference. And so
it really does. And I think we should mention too that, we've been seeing some of our patients for 7 years, since we opened our doors. So we really have a wonderful rapport with them, and they mean the world to us. And so anytime that, they leave our office and then, have to go off onto their journey of then actually going to purchase the products that we recommended for them, you just want to know that you're sending them off into really good hands. And so it's just very refreshing to hear that you guys are putting that much effort into, really making sure that they leave, one door and open up into yours and get that same experience.
I love that. It is totally about relationships, because I remember probably it was a few years ago, I was meeting with John, who is the CEO of Medwell, and we were having a conversation. It was, I'm on the marketing side, so it was a marketing conversation, but we were talking about things, and he was giving me examples of patients by name of their experience and how they resonated on him that are still patients with Medwell, and kind of, and that goes such a long way. Just like as you guys grow, you're going to have your patients that continue to come in, that you're building relationships. So I do think the patient experience is about relationships, for sure, for sure. Nikki, do you have anything to add to that?
I think everyone pretty much covered it. I would say the only other thing is just making sure that, we are giving people what they want. And I think to that point, it's always really rewarding to hear those patient stories of, yeah, you guys took the time to help me, and here's what happened. Here, I had all my symptoms went away, or I no longer deal with that issue that I was dealing with because you guys helped me. And I think that's why I wake up every morning and continue to do this.
And I think I just want to add to that, because Nikki just hit on something important. Nikki has done a really great job for us of, really getting in there and listening, right? Like we want to listen, and we encourage feedback from our patients, and we make it actionable. It's not something that, it falls on deaf ears. It's something that we actually take, and we have planning meetings where we're going through the feedback and we're saying, okay, how can we fix these things? How can we layer on top of these things? So just listening to your patients has been something that has been really important to us, and we've seen some success with.
It's a great word, listening. I love that. So let's talk about what, if I were a new patient coming in, kind of what are the things that, and you all can please do chime in. About medical cannabis and how it can make a difference in their wellness, because I think that, a lot of times the preconception, and you brought up edibles, Alex, earlier, but like it's smoking weed, or like I think it's really important on the educational side to say, okay, we have depression, we have anxiety, we have cancer, we have, people going through chemotherapy. There's so many different ailments. So what are some tips that you would give to patients, or that you think are most frequently asked, especially for first timers coming in?
I think that the most important thing for me is letting a patient know that everybody has their own journey in cannabis, and what may work for one person will not work for the other, right? I think that that extends to form factors, that extends to, strains, that, extends to, hybrid indica sativa. So I think, that just understanding that not everybody is built the same, and what you are looking to accomplish on your journey is going to be different from somebody else, which makes it so much more important to ask questions and have the conversation with patient consultants, which we encourage everybody to do when they walk through the doors. We want to make sure that you're asking questions. And I would say that the three biggest things to me would be: everybody has their own journey, so understand that. Make sure you feel comfortable at the dispensary you're shopping at, so you feel like you have the opportunity to ask questions. And I think if you hit on those three things, you'll really start uncovering what works for you, right? And I think it's important to know, again, that everybody is looking for something different. What may be, a solve for somebody's anxiety or depression may not work for somebody's ailments that they have physically that they're trying to solve for. So just asking the questions is really important.
And the one thing I would add that I think is sometimes overlooked is the nice thing about cannabis is you have the ability to try different form factors and different strains and do so pretty easily. It's different than a prescription medication where, you have to be on it for a couple months and then you have to wean off. It's not like that in cannabis. You can try a product, and if you don't get a good reaction, great. You never have to take it again, move to the next product. If you have a great reaction, that's also fantastic. But also, keep an open mind. There could be some different form factors or different strains that actually work better than that first one you tried that worked well. But, there could be something better out there too. So just keeping an open mind and definitely being willing to try new things.
I think cannabis also allows us to really take our healthcare into our own hands. It's very empowering. It's, you're not having someone say, here, take 2 and call me next week. You're really taking it into your own, it's becoming, like Alex said, your own journey, your own way of trying to find some relief. And, certainly, throughout our unscripted series, we do not say to anybody, dump all your meds and just jump onto cannabis. We are talking, this is just, another tool to add in your toolbox that you can, try to, something that maybe you're having extra pain in your knee one day. So, try a topical that, might be able to be put on there in addition to what you're doing, or, just start low and slow with something that you think will just allow you to sleep a little bit better. I've had so many people say to me that, geez, I just, take that vape and just take a few puffs and I'm out, for the night, or I take that edible, and I, finally get some sleep. So, it's just that extra added piece into your regime that, can make all the difference in your world.
All right. So let's talk, kind of leads into getting your med card. Can you tell a little bit about the process, Emily, and kind of what, how that works? And what I would need?
Yep. So, at Medwell, we have now been in business for 7 years. And so we have been able to streamline it so that it is just so easy, efficient. And I wish I had a dime for every time someone said to me, I can't believe I waited this long to get my med card, because it is just, it's as simple as, I think people think that it's like having to go to the DMV and stand in line and wait for your number to be called. It's, nothing like that. You pick up the phone, you can book your own appointment online. You have a friendly voice on the other end, being able to assist you throughout the entire process. We offer our in-office appointments as well as our telehealth appointments. We run appointments every day of the week except Sunday. So, we couldn't make it any easier. We start at 9 a.m. and go as late as 8 p.m. some nights. So for anyone that, has those funky hours with their work, we'll certainly work around that. And, at this stage of the game now, once you're certified with, in Massachusetts, there's over 250 qualifying conditions. So I think a lot of folks think that they might not qualify, but that's usually not the case. So, and if you do have questions about it, give us a ring. We'll be more than happy to answer for you. But once you get that certification, it is now instant. So you do not have to wait for that card to come in the mail. You get a little certification that will piece of paper that will email to you or hand to you, and you can start taking that right down to the dispensary and start taking advantage of all those amazing discounts and promotions that the dispensaries offer their medical patients.
Awesome. And how long is the card good for? How does it
1 year. One
1
year.
year.
And we'll make sure that we are reminding you to see us when it starts getting closer. We start calling our patients about 60 days before that certification is going to expire. And I know we'll probably be a little bit of a pain in the side to you, but we'll make sure that at least we get you in so that you don't have to go to the dispensary and be turned away for not being able to purchase on the medical side.
Awesome. Awesome. Which leads into the next part. So now I have my my certification. What's going to happen when I get to UpTop in Framingham?
Yes. So, I'll give you a little peek behind the curtain of kind of our training process with our staff. And it really lies within these three major categories, right? We want to be welcoming, but not fake when you walk in. We want to be trustworthy, but not intimidating when you talk to us. And we want to be charismatic, but not arrogant as we're going through the process of giving you your cannabis. So we really aim to keep things personable and approachable. And, we want you when you when you walk in to feel like it's your neighborhood shop, right? It's a place where you could come, feel comfortable. You could ask the questions that you want to ask. So, walking into any of our locations, you should always feel empowered to go and continue on the journey that you are in cannabis, and whether that's a first-time consumer or one of our avid patients. So I think, again, I don't mean to keep saying the same thing, but comfort when you walk in is extremely important. So, the difference, and I think one of our big differentiators in the training is this whole trustworthy but not intimidating piece, which I'll go a little bit deeper on, where it's so easy, especially as a first-time patient coming in, asking questions, to feel very intimidated by the answers that you're getting, right? Sure. You may not understand what different strains mean, or what different terpene profiles mean, or how, an edible and the onset time is different from a vape or a pre-roll, right? So just making sure that our highly trained and knowledgeable staff is speaking in a way where everybody can understand, whether it be them speaking and getting nerding and geeking out on terpene profiles with the avid consumer, or slowing things down a little bit and really painting the picture for a first time patient. So I think those are kind of the main keys as you're walking in.
And now, do you have patient coordinators? I'm sorry. Do you have like patient coordinators, or how does or do you have consultations ahead of time? How does that work for a first-time patient?
So we do, and Nikki, I could let you expand on this a little bit as well, but we do have obviously a consultation room, and we encourage everybody to set up a consultation upon request with one of our patient consultants who are highly trained to kind of take you through that. But yes, we do have that. We really are set up for everybody, right? If you want to come in and sit with somebody and talk through a full experience and go through a consultation, a private consultation, we have that set up for you. If you're somebody that wants to come in and may not want to talk to anybody and just wants to go up to an iPad, scroll and see what we have and ask questions when needed, you can, go down that choose your own path as well.
Yeah, and you can feel free to call as well. We're happy to answer your questions over the phone as best that we can. And the one other thing I would say is, if you are not sure of what the process is and you want to know, sometimes, like Alex mentioned, it's very anxiety provoking. You want to know, is there a parking lot? When I walk in, where do I go? Each dispensary is set up differently. We actually have animated sort of like maps of our dispensary of, if you pre-ordered, here's exactly the steps you would follow. And there's a little graphic that you can follow through. And if you didn't pre-order and you're just walking in, here are the steps that you would do and how it's different. So we do have that available as well if you have questions and you aren't necessarily in the dispensary at that time.
So that leads into kind of, let's talk about your discounts. You have some great discounts for your opening for new patients. So
yes. So right now we're running 50% off, 50% off for first-time patients for a limited time. I think it was really important for us coming into the market, just, extending for all these new patients to get to meet us, right? We understand we want to make this as affordable as possible, especially somebody for the first time coming in, meeting us, get a feel for who we are and what we're about. And we're more than confident once somebody comes in one time, they're gonna want to come back. But we do have a really robust and strong promotion calendar that we're going to roll out. Nikki does a great job of curating that, both for first party and vendor promotions as well. And I think, for us, we want to look at these discount days and promotions for patients, and how can we give back to the community as well with this. So we're going to roll out a day of giving where we will identify once a month a local or an organization that impacts locally, where a percentage of sales will go back to that organization. So, not only are we going to have a loyalty program, we're going to have these strong first party and vendor discounts. We're also going to do some good and harness that excitement for some good in the community. And then Nikki, if you want to touch a little bit on the loyalty program, the 500 points and all that good stuff as well.
Yeah, so if you sign up for our loyalty program right now, you'll get 500 bonus points, which gets you a third of the way to the first redemption tier. So you can redeem it for things like free pre-rolls, or as you work your way up and gain more points, you can get a discount on or free different quantities of flower, edibles, concentrates. You get 2 points for every $1 that you spend, and you're already spending the money. So it's our way of helping make it more affordable, which is also part of the reason why we wanted to do such a big discount for first-time patients. We know that it's not the cheapest, and so we want, just in general. So we want to be able to be there for our patients and be able to make sure that they can get the medicine that they need. And so we do offer a veterans discount as well as a financial hardship discount as well.
Awesome. Well, we're really excited. It looks like you guys have some other stores coming in the future, New Bedford and West Roxbury, it looks like. So that'll be exciting to continue to collaborate with you guys and watch it grow. So thank you so much for all of everybody's insight today. Emily, Alex, Nikki, it's been great. Friends, if you are catching the replay, feel free to leave a comment or a question, and we'll absolutely get back to you. And thank you. Everybody have a great weekend. Stay cool and stop by UpTop for your 50% off first-time patient deal. What an amazing deal. I wish I lived in Massachusetts. I'm in Connecticut. All right,
thank you guys very much for having us. Appreciate you.
Oh, thank you.